Okie dokie pokey. We are here. Final 7 of iSurv1vor Blood versus Water. It's been a long night. It's late. All of us are tired and exhausted. But we still have some shit to attend to, guys. Hassan was just voted out. Let me introduce everybody here. But before I do, I'm just going to press post on what we got going on so everybody can be made aware and can come watch y'all battle it out to try to get into the top 6. Alright, I just showed you. Person in the jury. Bam, bam, bam. Alright, guys. The time has come. Mary Beth, put your phone down. Pay attention to me. Why did you bid on... Okay, so recap what happened. Tell us all what happened. How you ended up being safe in the last challenge.
There was 3 people with positive points. If I bid everything and won, I would still, if more than one person bid and got the answer correct, I still wouldn't have won, and if we all lost, I would have lost. So I just decided to bid half of my HP.
All right, so pretty much, okay, so we played Jeopardy game show night, guys. We voted just not to do it live. It was a lot easier to just focus on us and not show you guys. Sorry, but it was really great, really fun. Chris is safe. He's immune. Chris and Daniel made the finals. Dan actually outbeat Chris. Dan is now safe. He has immunity. However, 3 of you guys made it to Final Jeopardy. Chris, Daniel, and you, Mary Beth. And that's when I gave you guys an option. Congratulations, you guys made it to Final Jeopardy. I'm giving you the option to risk and give me half of your health points. You will get the second immunity that's always available during challenges. Chris didn't bite the bait. He's like, no, I don't want the immunity today. Oh, and the stipulation was you'd be safe today, but you were not eligible for immunity in the final 6, so you can't play iSurv1vor Hell. So Daniel and Chris opted out. We're not going to take that. You took it. Why did you end up taking it?
I just felt like if all of us got it wrong, I would have lost. Even if I bid all I had, if more than one person got it right, I would have lost. I don't think I would last very well in Hell because I've watched the iSurv1vor Hell a couple of times, and I really don't think I would have won anyways. So I might as well just make it to top 6 and play.
So you made it to Final Jeopardy. You didn't even have to win the challenge to be safe today. How's it feel? You were in top iSurv1vor top
Yay!
6. Holla. So how's it feel?
Like I said before, it just feels amazing to me. I don't know. I respect this game, so it's great to be in top 6 when I could have been my first goal was to make it to merge, and now I'm top 6, so
right.
It's wonderful.
Big tribal council last time. Lots to talk about the singles, couples. It went to a tie. Daniel and Hassan. He didn't use his burn vote. What did you make of the last tribal council?
I thought that lines were drawn. It kind of ended up being, the lines did kind of end up being drawn since it was the tie. I thought for sure Adam was going to play something, but he must have felt safe and he didn't play it, so it's just what happened. It was a crazy tribal, though.
What happened to the 4-4? It was a 4-4 tie. 2 people safe, or 2 people not eligible to vote, rather. So it was 6. What happened? Why wasn't it 3-3?
Somebody must have flipped and not wanted to go to rocks because if we went to rocks, there was only 3 people.
Who did you think it was?
Who do I think flipped?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly Trevor.
Bigger Steph. Hop on cam, pretty boy. All right.
Yeah, it was me. I flipped.
Okay, we're getting some juicy. All right, Trevor, you are the man of the moment right now. Explain to me what went through your mind, what was happening, tie, this, that, you being berated by the host about, what these people were saying about you.
Yeah.
What happened? Tell me.
So Hassan is a really likable person. I really like him, and I was like, he's somebody that if I was a jury member, I would vote for him in the end. And so I knew that somewhere down the line he would have to not be in this game anymore. And I didn't see if I would have just voted out who were they voting for? Dan. If I would have voted out Dan, I don't think that I would have had an opportunity to do that vote.
Pick him
So
out.
yeah, to take him out. So
So do
I
you think it was
decided.
like a? Do you think it was a right place, right time? Like
Oh
because
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
voted
No, it was a
Hassan,
perfect.
and
It's perfect
because it
timing.
went to a tie, you were just like, "Yo, bro, this is like a layup for me."
I actually wanted him. I thought he was going to use his power, but he didn't. So I don't know why he didn't do that. That's probably what, because if he would have done that, because the only reason I didn't vote for him the first time is because um, I thought that it was going to be they might have been like voting for me. So I was like, I'm just going to vote for Dan to be safe. And then once I saw that they were voting for Adam, I was like, all right, I'm going to flip my vote. And I flipped it, and so here we are. And so I think it was a good idea. And
Any regrets? Initial? I mean,
the
not
only
you.
regret is I know I upset Joanne by doing it, and obviously like she's the most important person to me in this game, so I don't want to like upset her. But obviously I did it. I did what I did to help her too, not just to help me. So she's
Joanne.
flipping me off right now if you see that. So
Well, you didn't win immunity, Trevor. Do you think like immediate karma could come back to you right now?
I could be voted out right now, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But I could be.
Joanne, um, why were you hurt by Trevor?
The fact that I was completely left out of the loop and he's like supposed to be my,
So
my
you had
joint. Like I
no,
say
so
this,
you
no,
had no idea
no
going
fucking
in
clue.
that he was gonna make that decision. So it really
None.
was just right place, right time. I see
I
a
was
layup.
a
Let me throw
hundred
get that in
percent
there.
blindsided, and I'm like, dude, like everybody's over here thinking that we're so close, and I've said a million times that we're not. Like literally, we will play this game for our own good, and like whatever gets us to the end gets us to the end. Like he would probably vote me out if he had to,
Are you
and
worried about tonight? You're the only pair left, and you guys just were not that you. Well, you did. You guys just didn't vote together, and now you're the only pair left. So there's some
we're
contention.
like. I think they're. I think that the singles are closer than me and Trevor are. Like I 100% believe that. Like I literally looked at him and I was like, "What the fuck? You didn't say shit to me." Like I literally couldn't talk to anybody because I was probably coming off bitchy. So if anybody like tried to talk to me after that, I was just
You,
pissed
I
the
would
fuck off at
let's
Trevor.
talk about, your mental state, you being pissed off. Do you think that affected your abysmal challenge performance? Like you epically.
I went and drank a glass of wine really fucking
So
fast.
you're taking it to heart that Adam's gone. Did you think he was a loyal ally to you in this game?
No, not necessarily. I mean, we haven't voted the same the whole time. Like,
Hmm.
so no, but he was a friend of mine. Like,
Heard.
you
So
build relationships with people.
on a friend level, you've been, talking to him for, 33 days or so. So on that
Hmm.
level, damn, his presence in the game anymore, missing. But in terms
Yeah.
of my trusted best friend ally, not so much.
No, not so much. No. And I mean, if you looked at what where the line was, like nobody else has literally given me as much of the time of day as what he did, even if it was just a personal conversation. So,
Now that he's
yeah,
gone, where does that leave you?
I mean the same place where I was before,
Well,
but
you're not.
more pissed off at
Well, you're
Trevor.
not because you had two
But
couples.
it wasn't as aligned as what everybody thought. They can all think that
Hmm.
completely, but
Well, but I mean, I'm going based off of what I see, honey. And
no, I understand.
at last tribal council, let me just say, it was a tie. All right.
Okay, hold on.
Then,
Yes.
so I'm
Yes.
just saying, where does that leave you now that
We were pushed into that tie.
Okay, just because of the scenario, like,
Because of how like the other side of this line has said that we're all together, we're voting against you. They're all clearly
so
together.
do you
This is
think
what we're doing.
now that you're saying for the record, you mean that's the way it appeared, that's what we were falling into, that's the cards we were dealt, but now you're saying like it's still open season, anything can happen in this game.
it's it's been that way the whole time. Like
Heard,
the
heard.
last tribal council we went to with Dan was like, "Oh, nobody's tried to talk to me." Bullcrap. The before we even like had to submit all of our information, I had a conversation with him and Mary Beth, and I just told them everything that was on my mind. And Dan's like, "I'm not switching my vote," and I'm like, "Well, I didn't ask you to switch your vote. I'm not telling you anybody is to be voted for. I'm literally giving myself to you right now and telling you exactly what I feel to where you know where mind's at." And then the last tribal council around, Dan was like, "Oh, nobody's ever tried to talk to me. That's not true. Like, I'm not
Dan,
saying anything bad against Dan at all
Dan,
whatsoever.
Dan. So many times here on the fucking Fecal Mar Tribal Council, I'm hearing you and Joanne. Like, yeah, at least it's like it's
I
not
love
really.
Dan,
I know,
okay?
but
I love Dan.
it's not Tribal Council for me. Like, I don't even feel like it's at home. I'm not Tribal Council unless either Dan mentions Joanne or Joanne mentions Dan. So now because she mentioned you again, here you go mention her. You mention her. Just mention her. Say something.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that at last tribal council I said that I talked to everybody last round, so I don't know where she could get this saying that I didn't talk to anybody. I literally had a conversation with everybody on the other side. Like, and she's right. I did talk to her with Mary Beth, and she didn't really push anything. I never said any of that last tribal, so I don't know where she's like coming off with all of this.
Let's talk about. Let's forget about last round. That's old and done. Dan, let's talk about this round.
Oh, let's talk about this round. What do you want to know?
You're safe. That's what I want to know. How's it feel?
I'm safe. That's right.
This your first immunity challenge win? Individual?
This is my first individual mission.
Did you
It couldn't
think
have
that
come at
you
a
would?
better fucking time either.
Did you think? And I remember you told me you're like, God, I really hope Jeopardy's like my only save and grace type of like, because K-pop and drawing, and then you're like, oh, Jeopardy's coming up, and you were happy because it switched from Hell to Jeopardy. And like, thank goodness Jeopardy, and look, it just that kind of worked out for you. Do you expect to win that challenge?
Honestly, I was looking for. I'm not creative at all. Like, I don't dance. I don't do art. I'm not good at creative stuff. I use my mind on stuff. And the last like 4 challenges it seems like have been creative challenges. That were judged by people who have different opinions on what they like and don't like. So like I always feel handicapped in those type of competitions. Now it was like, okay, let's get to Jeopardy. I can use my brain. It's all on me. And if I lose because of me, not because somebody doesn't like the way I did something or
And not
doesn't.
because of a talent that isn't your strong suit. I get it.
Exactly.
So do you feel kind of like, amped up that yes, the one of the challenges that, in a while that really required skill and memory and speed that, you took it home. Does that make you a threat?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody threatened by Dan now? Raise your hand. That maybe you're a little bit more threatened by Dan than you were prior to Jeopardy. Yeah.
Look at Joe throwing the shade.
All right, Rose. Hi.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't
So,
working.
I mean, this may be wrong, but I just want you to know. I've been sort of looking at you as people have been talking, and not that you've been reacting, but you look petrified.
Yeah, I am.
Why? Tell me why.
Um, I don't know. I think tribal's always scary. I never know what to do, and I always try to like talk with people, but I always feel like no one wants to talk with me, or no one wants to tell me what they're doing, and I kind of feel alone a lot.
Rose, did you ever think you'd make it this far in the game? Think back to,
No,
when
no, and that's what's scary. Every time I make it around further, I'm more scared because I feel like I'm not supposed to be here, and I feel like everyone else thinks that too. I don't know.
But you've lasted this long. Is there some inner confidence that, that's been growing in you since the game started?
No. No. I think it gets scarier every time. You really do, because every round everyone becomes more noticeable.
Yeah, it's like your target gets bigger and room to hide gets smaller. Just be based on the flow of the game, not anything to do with anybody else. It's just how it works. So, with that being said, how and what have you done in the past hour to make sure that, hey, yeah, there's less room to hide and everybody's target is getting bigger, but what have you done in the last hour to make sure that despite those two things, you make it to the 6?
I've kind of just been like the annoying little sister to people that I think are like important, or like people who are gonna help me in the game. I've just been like, okay, like what are you doing? Let me know, like, because I don't know. I'm not like, I think everyone here has like learned I'm really not like a scheming kind of person. Like when I want to work with you, I'm talking to you. When I don't, I'm probably
So,
not
do you have
talking
like
to
this
you.
big game plan, or are you the more play it by ear, what comes, then like, make assess and judge, or are you like, okay, this round I need to talk to this person, and this is what I want
I
to
think it's really
accomplish?
funny that you're even asking me this question because Sandy, I've called Sandy like multiple times having a breakdown, like 5 minutes before tribal council, like most of them. I think every single tribal council, it's like when people say like, oh, I'm never drinking again when they have a hangover. I'm always just like, I'm just not gonna vote. I'm never voting again. Just count me out. Um, that's a real thing.
Would
I
you
don't
be,
know.
would you
I hate
be,
this part of the game.
would you feel a little bit relieved if your torch was snuffed right now?
I'd be really sad. I think it's like bittersweet. When you're playing, you're always like just so you're I was so stressed out all day today. I'm so stressed out right now. But if I wasn't playing, then I'd be really sad. So I don't know what's better or worse.
Chris, what about you? You've been through this 3 times. You've made it this far. If you were voted out, would it be like, okay, my third time's finally done. Like, let me get on the jury. I know what the jury's like. Let me just sip my mimosa, enjoy my seventh, and just keep it moving. Or would it be like, fuck? Are you
Oh yeah, I
fuck
mean,
these dudes?
let's keep this really real. I'm probably going to the jury next, and I'm going to have several cocktails, and I'm going to make sure I do the same thing I did last time. Make sure I can convince the jury to vote who I want to vote.
So
So
why are you going to the jury next?
why am I going to the jury next? Because I think I'm going to get voted off today.
Why?
Because powers, because of the breakdown in terms of how the votes are, I just don't feel good at all. So
Who would you be relying on to keep you safe at this point?
um, I mean, well, there's 7 people, so it needs to be 4 votes.
Yeah, but who have you built relationships with that if at this point, if you just needed to say, I think that person has my back over, the rest, even if they don't have your back, I feel like if anybody would not vote me out, hopefully it's not that bitch. So who do you think should be in your corner? Who are you expecting to be in your corner tonight?
I feel okay in terms of relationships with everyone except probably Joe. Um, but that means nothing in the game of being strategic and doing what you need to do in order to make it to the next round and
Hmm.
to place yourself in a position in which you think you have a better shot at winning. So,
Joe, how's your relationship with Chris? Did you know it was lacking until he just mentioned it?
Oh, I knew it was lacking. So in the beginning of the game, I tried to work with Chris, and we got separated. And then
We got
later on in
separated.
the
That wasn't no, you mutinied.
no, yeah, well, I mutinied and we got separated. And then I was on another tribe, so
And we
we
got
were
separated.
separated. And then, at Merge, I even tried to talk to him a couple times. I tried to give a little, get a little, and I think I was giving a lot more than I got. And then clearly the information that I got wasn't right, or it was just what is it, lying by omission. And that happens in this game, and I respect your gameplay. I definitely understand you got to do what you got to do to get further in this game, but like literally after like it was like one time, all right, my bad, it's what it is what it is. But the second time I was like, all right, clearly you've drawn that line between you and I where you do not trust me. So it was like I absolutely have an obsession with you, Chris. Like full whole like hard on fucking obsession with you. Like it's ridiculous. And it
Chris,
really
Chris,
sucks that we can never play together
what do you what
because
do
it
you what
just
do you
didn't
feel
work.
about this lying by omission? Do you feel like you came across like that? Do you feel like she's warranted by your behavior to feel this way?
she may be warranted to feel that way. I felt like it was reciprocated. I think
So you
she may
both
have.
are just shady
I,
bitches to each other?
I think that's kind of what happened. I think there was a lot of time in the game, a lot of days in between when we first had our interaction to when we met back up at Merge. So there was a little bit of, I think it just was a little bit of treading softly in terms of conversation. I didn't feel comfortable with the answers I was getting. I didn't feel like I was getting full
So you didn't
stories
deliver the same
and
thing.
vice versa.
Gotcha.
So I think ultimately the line was kind of drawn there
So do you guys think
unintentionally.
this is something, if you both survive, that you guys can come into let bygones be bygones and maybe use each other going forward, or is this just something that's you need to go because you're never gonna benefit my ass, Chris? Joe, you need to go because you're never going to benefit my ass. So, Chris, what about you?
You know, it's a lot of game has been played, but these final days, anything can happen. And I think that, the jury will watch, being on the jury 2 times before, the jury is watching every single move, meticulous move that you make very carefully. So I think keeping options open is always a good thing.
Now, a question, guys. So, LeBlanc hasn't been here all day. He hasn't really been to many of these live events. Did any of you feel like maybe he's just based on schedule and what each of you have been providing to this Hell Week, do you think that maybe he's not deserving to, make it any further? Does anybody want to speak up on in defense of LeBlanc or agree to what I just said?
I mean,
Because
schedule
I
wise,
know Daniel, you wake up at 4 a.m. and
yeah,
what time is it here?
it's 12:40 right now.
So do you feel
So
like just based on that, like LeBlanc's not putting in what I'm putting in, therefore, bro, go or bro, stay because if I don't respect that gameplay, maybe you're a perfect person for me to. No, well, not the gameplay, but like not you just can't respect somebody who doesn't put in what you put in, especially at this point in the game. Like he's out drinking right now.
yeah, I'm putting in my all. I'm gonna go to bed probably about 1 o'clock. Maybe get to sleep around 1:30. Get 2.5 hours sleep. Go work 10 to 11 hours. Come back and do Hell Week tomorrow. So I mean, I don't. He wasn't even here for the competition.
And
Like
if he
he's
survives and then can't show up to Hell Week tomorrow, how's that make you feel? I mean, it gives you a better chance of winning Hell Week, but again,
it's just I don't know. I mean,
anyone else?
if you don't want to play, why did you sign up?
hmm
You know.
it's just, I feel like everybody should be coordinating, especially with this Hell Week. Anybody want to speak up? Trevor, you look at you, you have kids, you have a family, you have a job, and look at you here, 4 hours.
Yeah, this it's definitely not easy for. I definitely understand where Dan's coming from. I don't have it as hard as him because of my work schedule, but like I respect people that do that. Like if he were to make it to the end, I would see that and I'd be like, wow, he was committed. He put the effort into it. So yeah, it definitely stands out and people take notice.
Is that thought affecting anybody's judgment tonight? Because not like on the same side of that coin, somebody who's not around as much may also not be as reliable. What happens one time at the Final Four, or Final Five, you need his vote, and he's just partying it up. Does anybody have anything else to say before we wrap this up? Anybody? Rose, Mary Beth, you're safe. Anything you want to say to these people? Chris, Daniel, Joe. No? It's time to vote. When I say your name, please PM me. Trevor, Rose, Mary Beth.
Sandy, did you see my IM?
Not yet. Daniel, Chris, Joanne, say what you got to say.
I am using my power to take a vote and vote for that person tonight.
Say it.
I am taking Dan's vote tonight.
And you are voting for who?
Chris.
Chris. Dan, how does it make you feel?
I knew she was probably going to use it, and that's fine. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. So, contingency plans were made.
Chris, there's a vote in there for you from Dan already. We don't reveal the votes, but you know there's one in there for you. All right, guys, I'll go tally the votes. All right, guys. Once the votes in the hidden urn have been revealed, I will have crowned the sixth member of the jury. I will reveal the votes. Sixth member of our jury. The 11th person voted out of iSurvivor, Blood versus Water. Chris Brown, you need to bring me your torch. It's time for you to go. The tribe has spoken.
I'm sorry, my call dropped. I don't know what happened.
And that is that. Another victim of the blind urn. Another jury member crowned. 7 becomes 6. Rose, Mary Beth, the bigger staffs, Daniel, and Trevor LeBlanc. Guys, tomorrow is hell. What time do you guys want to have it? 9, 8, what?
I don't care. I'm off.
As
Right.
early as possible.
Because he's the one who... What time, Daniel? What time would you
Today
like?
wasn't hell or something?
Today was absolute hell, Sandy.
No, tomorrow is hell.
I need a puke bucket I can imagine.
Sandy, as early as possible, please, sir.
Are you guys going to be around 7 p.m.?
I'm going to bed,
What's the
sir.
earliest everyone will be home and available? What's the
What's the
absolute
earliest?
earliest?
Eastern.
8:30 works perfect for me.
8:30 Eastern, guys. All right, thanks for viewing, guys.